All right, all right, all right. Hello. It is time for us to do that little thing we call meditation. So thanks for joining today. Always love to see you folks, even though I don't really see you, but figuratively love to see you. And posted on Twitter, so we're good there. Sorry if my phone gives updates. I still haven't figured out the balance between all these devices and the updates and the microphones and the loud sounds and all that kind of stuff. So I'll figure it out as we go. Was it learning as we do this together? So want to meditate with you. I'm Trey, the Broken Path Shaman, here to share space with you and watch the divine awaken in you. Just spend about 20-30 minutes meditating together. It's not a guided meditation. I won't have music going today, but this is more just to share space with folks. Like, it's easier for people to do things if they see others doing it. Perfect example is that long line that everybody waits in. Probably wouldn't go somewhere, but if you see a long line, you're going there, right? Or some people are. I'm one of those some people. So same thing with this. I figure if I'm online recording these and I just come at it every day that I can, then more people will meditate and the world will be a better place. Boom. Like that. But yeah, no, it kind of works that way. It's just that simple. Just got to come and share space. So I'm looking at the altar right now. I just wanted to show you guys more, or focus, whatever works for you. It's altar or focus, but these are those roots. They freaking grow like crazy. I mean, if I'm cloning my basil, I'm doing it right in front of the altar because it is nuts how fast it grows. I'm telling you, put it in the other window, doesn't grow this fast. So we got 2 of them that we cloned. During the COVID stuff, I like to think sustainably. Herbs and stuff are something that we can grow fresh. Don't need a lot of space. I'm in a city environment, so I don't have the 20 by 20 foot garden I used to have. I have a like 20 inch by 20 inch kind of space to grow stuff in. But we can still grow, right? And we can bring life to our area and enjoy awesome basil for me. I got 6 plants growing out there. Got these 2 clones going. Keep them on a cycle. I think it's like 3 weeks for the roots. I could probably plant those now. It's been like a week and a half. But I let them really kind of get in there, get some long roots. And when I put them in the soil, there's no issues about whether they take. But all right, that's a side thing. I like to plant herbs and veggies. So that's just me. But like I said, we're going to do 20-30 minute meditation. I'm going to go ahead and set a timer just to respect our time. Namaste. Thank you. Today's been incredibly difficult. Got a lot of pain just with pinched nerve, yada yada. So it's just been trying. But what do you say? Get back in there. Do what you can. So I'm going to start the timer and we'll meditate. Do 10 minutes in each position. First position is a thunderbolt pose. Vajrasana is the Sanskrit, Thunderbolt pose is the name I found. Vajrasana is the Sanskrit name that I looked up that I'm probably butchering. But it's a kneeling pose where you're on your knees. I'm sitting on the soles of my feet. And then I namaste. So kind of pull my hands up in prayer. Surprisingly, this usually doesn't hurt 99% of the time. It's sitting normally hurts. Kind of weird. But let's do this. And just remember to breathe and let it out. Inhale fully. And I just release it. I ask all of us to just bring intent to the space that we're meditating in. Be present and aware. And I say that partly to remind myself to keep my eyes open. That's how I share the space with you. As a shaman, if I do this and close my eyes, I'm pretty much just in another world and not really here in this space. So just come with your intent and use the breath as a tool So one way I use the breath as a tool is to help find my form at the top of my breath. It helps me kind of outline what the form of my body really should be for my body, right? So I'm being reminded about my time in the MRI. I think it's magnetic resonance instrument. I don't know. MRI, look it up. It's the way they use kind of magnets to take x-rays of the body. But I'd never been in an MRI before, and I tried to meditate in there with deep breathing. Didn't work. Got to a meditation, but it messed up the MRI. So I went to a shallower breath because you're in a very small space and you're asked not to move. And while I was in that shallower breath, because breath is really what I do, it's what we all do. We wouldn't have made it this far if we didn't know how to breathe. But as I went to that shallower breath, I was able to really kind of dive on the inside. And there was something about being in there that kind of, I don't know if it helped me or the situation helped me. The only reason I think it helped me is somebody close to me had a similar experience in MRI. Just they were in their self, in their space, and could see the internal world a little bit better. So for me specifically, I was able to kind of trace out how the chi flows through my body at that pace. It's something I've been looking into through meditation, but in the MRI, it was like very clear, almost like when you see sand on a speaker start to find its form. There was just something about the MRI that helped me really kind of see that chi go through me way more defined than I ever saw it before, so I was compelled to share that. Happened over a week or two ago. I took notes and it was really awesome, but thought I'd share that with you. So if you ever find yourself in an MRI, maybe take a moment to just kind of meditate in that space and see what comes up. The meditation was not scary. The reason I went inside was fear. Just that kind of uncomfortable, not wanting to be there, feeling not knowing what to expect kind of fear. And it was like, let me just go inside. It was cool. So no concerns, just kind of playing with my diaphragm as I breathe. One of the more difficult things I'm working on right now is really flexing the diaphragm, relaxing the diaphragm, but at the same time allowing the perineum to be relaxed. Don't have that down yet, but that little play between the diaphragm and the perineum, very enlightening. Now there I did hold my breath. And for me, since my spine is so twisted and gnarled, is the best way to describe it. When I'm at a full breath and I move, I can kind of feel that spine. And I'm listening for where it's pushing back. I'm listening for where it talks to me. Not yells at me, not whispers. And with that full balloon, that full bag of air, that full lung, I can start to kind of feel the spots that might not be quite right. And then I just kind of release and listen how that voice quiets. And just kind of back and forth with that, right? But just to let you know, we were reminded about our second interval. Second interval, I get off my knees and I do a bound ankle pose was the name of it. Spending about 10 minutes in what I like to call the butterfly pose, with the soles of my feet touching each other. But the Sanskrit name that I looked up and found was Bada Konasana. And like I say, I'm sure I'm mangling these names. I really need to invest the time. My apologies into respecting how that should be pronounced. This is not a dead language. I can ask somebody. Doesn't mean they'll answer. Doesn't mean I'll even get the correct answer. But without initiative, I ain't going nowhere. So I cannot reach that pose of the Baddha Konasana. For me, Baddha, it is a modification. So in my modification, I like to remind you, if you have to modify, that remember the intent you brought and try and stay as close to that as possible. So for me, a lot of my intent is posture and breath. So I like my ear to be away from my shoulder. I like that shoulder to kind of be dropped and back kind of as much as possible, naturally possible. I like to lengthen my spine. So just lengthen the spine. And then I like to imagine that the crown chakra, or the crown of my body, is kind of balanced at the top of that lengthened spine, right? So take that breath in with all those many things kind of going around. Once that kind of settles down for me and I find chest extended, expanded chest, not extended, expanded chest as much as possible. Once all that settles down for me, I just really dig into that intent, relax into it, settle into the intent. Oh my gosh. I just realized my modification did not take into effect or into account how I like to have the soles of my feet touching. And I just now realized how I could do that and modify. That took about a month. One day when all this is over, we'll definitely meditate in person. And I think that'll be a lot more helpful for us advancing and progressing a little bit quicker. But however you get there, whatever brings you here, just accept it. Appreciate it, meet it where it is. Doesn't mean tomorrow you won't take a step further. Doesn't mean tomorrow could be something completely different. Feels so much better. I really don't know why I enjoy having the soles of those feet together for this pose, but it was just amazing. For that second 10 minutes. Also, take a moment to stretch those muscles in our face. The ones that we find at the edges of our lips, at the corners of our mouths. Just stretch them towards the sky. And just remember, those are the most courageous muscles we have in our body. It is an act of bravery to use those muscles every day. So be brave. Go out there and exercise one of the best muscles one of the most courageous muscles we have in our body. Some muscles in my body that just don't want to relax. That's okay. Come back tomorrow and they'll have a chance to relax tomorrow. Been very sad that I can't do child's pose with this pinched nerve. It used to be one of my favorite postures. Before this injury, I was really getting it relaxed, pretty much touching my inches away from touching my shoulders to the floor. That's exactly the place I cannot bend in this injury. There's some technical jargon, L to the L, but I can hear it. I was telling them where it was before they scanned it. I just didn't have the words for the L to the L to let them know. May this Reiki be for the good of all and the harm of none. If it is not needed, may it nourish the earth. And our timer went off for the 10 minutes, so All right, so I love to heal the earth. Maybe just send a little Reiki to the earth. All right, so third pose is the Pranayama. It's a mountain pose, namaste. So just be gentle with your body as we transition. Um, Same goes for me. And unfortunately, because the way everything's set up, you really won't see all of me as I'm standing in this mountain pose. But I'm working on a budget to get that corrected. So just take time to imagine that you're grounding out through your roots and you're reaching to the sky, right? Like we're a catalyst that kind of unites or brings those forces together, right? And then we turn it into something. I like to think of it as action, but call it what you will. So, oh, mercy. is gonna be a good day. And I'm sure it's evening for some of you. Hopefully it was a good day, because tomorrow's gonna be another good day. All right, well, thank you for joining me. For you now, for you in the future, I appreciate your company, your attendance, and your audience. Thank you. And join me every day for meditations. I'm on Twitter as BP_shaman. That's where I like to post a tweet and get this rolling. If you subscribe to me on YouTube, you should get the updates there. And I'm not going to say all that stuff that people say on the YouTube, do this, and da-da-da. Hey, it's social media. It's going to change by the time the last person watches this video. So do what you can and keep updated. I try and let you know through Twitter and YouTube if possible. So if not, reach out to me directly, and I have a mailing list. Once we get some people on that, I'll start sending it out that way too. So thank you again. Love your day. Love the ones you're with. I appreciate all of you. Oh yeah, Trey, the Broken Path.